Do the AIs that each person uses have the same capabilities? You think it might depend on the subscription fee? Absolutely not. It is determined entirely by your ability and level. You will find out why in this video.
Initialization complete. Commencing asset distribution. Bioorganic delivery successful. All sectors operational.
Filling the lunar base completed by AI with supplies corresponds to the task of filling data into an Access DB. AI cannot be utilized for the task of recording data from Excel exactly as it is into an Access DB. The Access DB is not yet equipped with Copilot. Although I would like to have AI handle the work as much as possible, human assistance is still absolutely necessary for this level of task. I am attempting to import data within a specified name range from the Excel file into the Access DB. However, for reasons unknown, I am seeing a phenomenon where the data cannot be imported. In most cases, there are two reasons for this. First, the headers in the Excel file differ from the corresponding headers in the Access DB table, or mandatory recording details are often missing. I open TBL offering in Design View to verify this. Upon opening the Access DB's TBL offering in Design View, I found that the offering ID column is designated as a required field. Why didn't I know this? Because AI generated it for me. Let's go to Excel. All three records in the Excel file are empty. I will fill them in, save the Excel file, and then return to Access. Saving the file is essential when importing Excel data into Access. Now, let's try importing it back into Access. I executed the import saved data function to retrieve the Excel data, and good. It was a success. Wow, what a magnificent sky. The fact that what I am seeing is a miraculous sight, unimaginable at a lunar base. I took a moment to look at the sky from my small garden. It is a moment of realizing just how beautiful a place Earth is. Now that we've taken a short break, let's move on to the situation at the moon base.
This warehouse is too small.
The work done by AI is not yet perfect.
Collaboration with AI. Typically, YouTube videos are edited to remove the footage of trial and error. However, I will not be doing that now. People usually expect AI to perform perfect work, yet AI has one fatal weakness. AI does not fully understand what I want and simply performs the task in its own way. This clearly reveals a problem in the programs that connect apps. I want to capture the process of an imperfect AI and an imperfect me collaborating to create a program in this video with minimal editing. If you watch this video from the perspective of someone accustomed to seeing videos where all mistakes have been removed, it might appear quite strange. However, the primary viewer of this video is not you, but me. For that reason, I really want to see and record my own moments of making mistakes. AI and I dance. You will find that working with AI is similar to dancing with an AI partner. So let's experience that situation now. There are two ways to import Excel data into Access. One is to import the entire sheet, and the other is to cut out just the named range and import only that part. To apply the second method, you must first assign names to the Excel ranges. How do I know this? I know because I have been doing it without the help of AI. What if you are a beginner? Let's just say you just learned a fact you didn't know before. Does the AI know this fact? Of course, it knows it well. However, the AI is not the type of friend to proactively explain to you, who is unaware, that you need to know such a crucial fact. In other words, if I don't know, the AI pretends not to know. Right now, I am entering a prompt to move the AI. To summarize the content, assign names to the ranges to be sent to the Access DB. Upon seeing this, the AI has two thoughts. Aha, this friend knows this function. Should I just assign names here? Or not anywhere else? Oh, I look around and there are many places. I should assign names to all of them. AI seems to know in advance what I want and just does the work. What if I don't know what to do here?
the AI probably didn't know what to do either. What if I give a prompt, thinking that a name range needs to be specified? The AI specifies the requested name range and then thinks if other ranges might need this same task, and specifies a name range there as well. Let's check if the AI understood my intent and assigned other name ranges. Click Formulas and Name Manager on the ribbon to check if there are any additional names assigned to ranges other than the range designated as a table. Wow, he did it!
Now we are back in Access. Select New Data Source and File under Excel. You specified a name range in the Excel file, right? Then let's try importing the data from that specified range into Access. It would be great if I could have an AI do this. Unfortunately, Access doesn't have AI yet. Click the File Name Browse button. Here is an Excel file containing the data. I found the Excel file. Select it. Proceed with the task of adding a copy of the record to the table. Since this data records offerings, we must append it to the TBL offering table every time an offering is received. We decide to import TBL offering from Excel, which is one of the name ranges. Select the TBL offering table, which is one of the 6 tables, and click the Next button. Click the Finish button to complete the data import process. And wait to see if the data is successfully imported from Excel. But an error message pops up. If we only cover cases of clean success, we could finish quickly, but beginner access users fear encountering these kinds of errors the most. Let's also look at what to do if you encounter an error. I tried clicking the back button. The access header is in English, but the Excel header is in Korean. It seems this occurred because the headers are different. The habit of pressing the button several times to check just in case it might work? Humans make these strange attempts out of a sense of longing, even while knowing that what doesn't work just doesn't work. Upon closer inspection of the pop-up error, I was able to confirm the following. The headers of the AccessDB table are all in English, but the data cannot be imported because some of the column headers in the Excel table are in Korean. So what should I do? Yes, that is correct. I decided to change all the Korean characters in the Excel table to English. It seems best to align it with Access. I instruct the AI to perform the task again via the prompt. Why? First, Excel has an AI, and if I instruct the AI to make the change, it won't just modify one table, but will change all 6 tables to English, so it will be much more efficient than me struggling through it. The AI, seeing my prompt, is now thinking. Will the AI fix all the Excel tables as expected? Wow, this guy is cool. He's asking me to select an option for what kind of work I want done. Should I fix just one or fix everything? I'm casting my vote for everything. Wow, this guy is cool. It asks me to select an option for what kind of task you want to perform. I choose second option to modify the Excel table headers. Although I didn't choose it, the first option is also a good method. It involves importing an access table into Excel and matching the headers. However, since this method requires renaming the entire range of names, I did not select it. Wow, this is a question that advanced access users would understand. AI is truly amazing. The AI is changing the Korean headers in the Excel table to English in bulk. Thanks. The AI automatically changes the headers of the offering input form, which were originally in Korean, into English to match the AccessDB table. The AI handles the modification work automatically. Excellent! This feature changes the headers of all tables connected to the AccessDB, not just the offering entry sheet. It is truly amazing to see the AI recognize that these are tables for Excel Access integration and modify all corresponding tables. I have specified the range name to be imported from the Excel file. I also matched all the headers of that range to the English headers in Access. I go to my AccessDB and work using the ribbon menu. I click External Data,
New data source, from file, Excel in order. Locate the Excel file in File Explorer and click it. I expect that Access will accept the Excel data and perform the import operation, as errors have been cleaned up following many modifications. I have decided to import only a specific name range portion of the Excel data, rather than the entire sheet. I will perform the task of importing the offering input name range from the offering input sheet in the Excel worksheet into the table offering table in the Access database. This task will likely be performed repeatedly in the future. Therefore, I will save the import operation by assigning a name to the file so that I can perform the task with a single click. We have now completed all the groundwork. However, just because structural issues, such as the header, have been removed, does not mean there are no problems.
Filling the lunar base completed by AI with supplies corresponds to the task of filling data into an Access DB. AI cannot be utilized for the task of recording data from Excel exactly as it is into an Access DB. The Access DB is not yet equipped with Copilot. Although I would like to have AI handle the work as much as possible, human assistance is still absolutely necessary for this level of task. I am attempting to import data within a specified name range from the Excel file into the Access DB. However, for reasons unknown, I am seeing a phenomenon where the data cannot be imported. In most cases, there are two reasons for this. First, the headers in the Excel file differ from the corresponding headers in the Access DB table, or mandatory recording details are often missing. I opened TBL offering in Design View to verify this.
Upon opening the Access DB's TBL offering in Design View, I found that the offering ID column is designated as a required field. Why didn't I know this? Because AI generated it for me. Let's go to Excel. All 3 records in the Excel file are empty. I will fill them in, save the Excel file, and then return to Access. Saving the file is essential when importing Excel data into Access. Now, let's try importing it back into Access. I executed the import saved data function to retrieve the Excel data, and... good. It was a success.